Hey guys, Adrian here, and today I want to shoot this video because I wrote up an excerpt at adrianc.me. I wrote a post a couple days back entitled Wealthy versus Rich. A lot of the stuff I kind of come up with and like to talk about or write down in general. Portions of it will make its way to my blog, to whatever, and if eventually, if it does happen to find its way to video form. And this is something I think was important enough that I wanted to phrase out and take the rest of it and generate the video and put it out there, because I think, to me, I call it the $1,000,000 question, answer to the $1,000,000 question. I've gotten a lot of questions from friends, from people I know, whether it's online or offline, and one of those $1,000,000 questions that a lot of people tend to ask people, especially on YouTube alone. You get those questions like, "Are you rich?" or "Are you this?" or like, "How do you make so much money?" or "How do I become rich?" or all those $1,000,000 questions in different variations. And I think to understand that, to answer that, and wholeheartedly give you a honest answer, you need to define the line between wealthy and rich. And I have my own perception of that, and it's not just, I'll be honest, a perception I've always had. It's a perception that, growing up in the recent years, even just recently coming back from my trip, it's something that has formed its own kind of viewpoint for me, because it's certainly changed on the 8 years I've been working for myself and being self-employed and financially independent. It's generated its own perspective, like I said. Because, see, if you want to make money, if you look at the richest of the rich, if you look at the Gates, the Carlos Slim, if you look at the Warren Buffetts of the world, the name of the game is to take money and use it to make more money. It's that simple. If you want to make money, if you want to become rich, that is usually the key to that. Now, applying it is, again, all on yourself, all up to you, but you got to buy things that present value and generate profit in return. You have to have patience and work hard, of course. You need to invest wisely, never emotionally. I think that's something to keep in mind, because you need to know that money in itself has zero emotions. It doesn't care whether you're here, whether you're there. It doesn't care how you are financially, how you are, personally. Money is money. You can make it just as easy as you can lose it, and it's always been that simple. So to be wealthy, you need to put yourself in a position where your money is always making more. That, in a nutshell, is how people become wealthy. Now, that can be investments, that can be banking, that can be saving wisely, that can be investing in a business idea or something that is going to come back in return. There can be so many different things. There's so many different ways to become wealthy. Trust me, those ideas aren't really going to run out. But there is a fine line between rich and wealthy to me, because wealth to me deals in currency, in assets, things you own, cars, house, computers. But to be rich, I think you need to look around and simply realize one basic thing: you are alive. You are here. I think that's something very for granted. I know a lot of people, the saying is, look at what you have. And yes, the clothes on your back, the roof over your head, the food on your table. You're already better off than all these kids who are in impoverished, nations, and so on and so forth. But even to them, even to these kids who are in poverty or whatever, who may grow up in not so ideal lifestyles, we are all alive, give or take. We are alive. We are here in this present moment. And that opens the doors tenfold, obviously, to that of the latter if you weren't alive. Because when you're alive, that saying of not everybody is born rich, obviously, but that's not a choice. When you're born into this world, that you aren't deciding whether or not you can be born into a financially sound family or not. But to generate wealth, to become wealthy, that choice is up to you. No matter the condition you are in, no matter, there's all sorts of success stories, from nothing to something, from here to there, from poverty to wealthy, because that choice is all up to you. And this is coming from somebody, mind you, I'm very driven by money. I'm going to sit here and not lie to you, and I'll be honest with you. Everything I do, a lot of things I do in life, is for money. I love the game of making money. I love, I have a aspiration for that luxurious side of life. That's what I aim to do. When I make $1 million, what's to stop me from making $1 billion? As long as I am alive, I'm going to go for that. Because me personally, this is the one life I know I'm existing in. I don't believe in some sort of afterlife. I don't, I think even if people, my personal opinion, even if people who do, nobody can tell you with 110% certainty this is what happens after. Because once, unfortunately, we die, we die. So I live life on the basis of yeah, this is probably the one life I'm going to live, so I'm going to live it to my fullest potential. I'm not going to deprive myself of things I know I'm worth. And if you want to become wealthy, then your path to wealth is, again, to take that money and find a way to make more of it. Find a way for your money to be generating profit. Maybe that's a business, maybe that's a product, I don't know. Maybe you just are a really smart investor, but the game of wealth is simple. But to stop and look at the simple things in life, it's, that's being rich. To realize that you are here, you are alive, and the opportunities just based off of that are already tremendous. And I think we lack that a lot, not just in wealthy people, but even people who are, middle class, whatever it may be. We forget that a lot. We doubt that a lot. We tend to let that slip even for a second, that we are alive, we are here, and the opportunities because of that are tremendous. And if you want to talk about how to become rich, how to become this, that, or the other, look in the mirror. It's that simple to me. You want to become wealthy? Money to me is also, in a way, I've always looked at money as a simple, in itself, it's a complex system, but money is very, very simple to generate as well as it is to lose. You can find so many ways to make it, and there's so many ways to find a way to make more of it. The opportunities have always existed. It's all, in the end, comes down to you. So that's wealthy versus rich. That's the aspects, that's the line to me. And hopefully that helps some people out there. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you all in the next video.